So today's video is going to be my May TBR. So I want to talk a bit about the fact that I am a mood reader. So none of this is set in stone, which means it is very likely to change given my mood, but some of them are library books, so I'm probably not going to read those first, simply because I have a bit longer with them due to extended due date still. And I have a couple on Kindle Unlimited and Scribd that I plan to read. Some of those are Air Awakened series by Kova. The Raven and the Dove is on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm going to be reading that one as well. Let's see. Scribd's got The Summer I Turned Pretty, which I do plan on reading for the C Maidenthon. That is one of the plans. So let's get started with my actual physical books that I've got right here. Again, these are not in any order whatsoever. They're just kind of the ones I pulled out. The first one is Thorn. I'm excited about this one. It's a Goose Girl retelling. I don't think I've ever read the original story of the Goose Girl, so I don't know what to expect with this one, but this is one I'm excited about. The next one we've got is The Winter Duke. It's a little odd to be reading winter books right now in May, but I'm excited about this one. I've heard good things as well. So I've also got Havenfall. I actually read the first book in the Everlast series by Sarah Holland, and I really enjoyed it. I have not read the second one yet, mostly because my library doesn't have it. I haven't been able to find it used anywhere. So I do plan on reading that one at some point, but I've got Havenfall right now to read. Then I've got The Fixer Upper, Mary Kay Andrews' book. I really enjoyed Sunset Beach that I read by her, so I'm kind of excited for this one. I'm hoping it's just as good. Moving on to Of Fire and Stars. So I read this one a couple years ago, or maybe a little less than a couple years ago. It's been a while, but I'm excited to read it, mostly because I have finally purchased the sequel. So this one's going to be a reread, and then this one's going to be new to me, but I do plan on reading them both this month. And I've got another reread, actually. I'm going to reread The Daughter of Smoke and Bone series by Laini Taylor. I read it last year. I barely remember it. But again, I read it when I was checked out from the library on my Kindle. And so when I'm feeling rushed, sometimes I feel like I don't absorb as much, which is sometimes why I hate having ebooks checked out from the library, because I never feel like I've got enough time with them. Mostly because I don't have enough time to take the pictures of the Kindle. I don't have enough time to really think about it, to go back and flip through it. So I did end up buying these off Book Outlet for really cheap. I think I got them for $2 a piece. And I'm very excited to reread it. Alright. So next book is Bone Crier's Moon. This is going to be one of my most excited releases. And I'm very curious as to what's going to happen in this book. I've never read anything by this author before. This was my first one by her. But isn't the cover gorgeous? I wanted this book solely because of the cover. And then the contents also really are interesting to me as well. But the cover was the first thing I noticed. I went, ooh, I want to read that. Alright. My last book for May that I'm thinking about rereading. It's a big one. It's a doozy. And I've been saying I want to reread it. I'm going to make time to read it this month, because it fits perfectly in with C Maidenthon. I am horribly sorry, I cannot pronounce anything with a thon in it, apparently. But it is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I am thrilled to try and reread this one. I loved it the first time I read it. I'm sorry. See? It's heavy. It's trying to escape. I really enjoyed it. It was epic high fantasy, but it's also really intimidating because this thing is huge. Other books that are kind of on my list to read at some point are the rest of Samantha Shannon's Bone season. I read the first one and I enjoyed it as well. I've actually got the other two on my want to buy list because I liked it enough to buy it. So, hey. So that was kind of my TBR right now, my rough TBR of things I'm interested in doing and in reading for this month. I do want to do a reread of the Grisha trilogy at some point. I just reread Six of Crows a couple months ago, and I really enjoyed it that second round even more than the first time. So I would really, 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 really love to do a reread of that. In June, I'm thinking about starting a readathon for people who want to have some time to reread books. They keep saying, I want to reread this, or I need to reread this for some reason. I'm thinking about doing that in June, but I'm not sure. It's not going to be anything super serious or intense, but I thought it might just be fun to have a group of people doing that. So I've got quite a few books actually on my shelf that I do want to reread. So if you have any questions on my TBR, anything that you are excited to read as well, or things you're curious about, just feel free to stick them in the comments and I will respond. Yay, May TBR.